Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you for joining me today. Today is Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. If you are new to my channel, welcome. This is a channel on my hobbies. Right now that's primarily cross-stitching, sometimes sewing, hopefully one day a little bit of quilting. I do enjoy paper crafting. I like to make greeting cards and treat boxes and treat bags, gift tags, gift tag holders, that kind of a thing. If you are returning, welcome back. I'm so glad that you returned to see what I've been up to. This week was okay. Work is just work. Gearing up because, you know, it's registration time for the summer programs. That's what I am in charge of. So I've been busy. It's a lot of work. And I have to work again tomorrow. We're doing an event. So I'm working on Sunday. It doesn't happen very often. So it really isn't a big deal. And my husband's coming with me. So that'll be nice. We get to spend some time together while we both work. But it is what it is. It's fine. It'll be a beautiful day. We're going to be out in the camp. So if I have to be at work, I would rather it be on a beautiful day out in camp because it will be beautiful. So that's kind of what's been going on. I did finally figure out and finish what my smalls project is going to be for the retreat next weekend. So I have that done. I, of course, am going to be making one for myself. It's right here in that bag. And I'm going to actually try to film a video of me making it. We will see how that all goes. Also, I finally figured out what I'm going to do for my table gifts. I mean, I knew what I was going to do. I just wasn't sure how to finish them, and that's been kind of slowing me down. Well, I've now figured that out. I finally found a video, so I will be recording how I finish those as well because there's not enough out there in Flosstube land, like none. And I'm not even sure. I think I found her video by accident. So I'm gonna do a video on that finish as well. So those will come in the future. I'm not sure when. I also was able to film a craft room tour, and it didn't make me nauseous. So I'm just got through with the first round of edits. So I have to go back and edit again and then add details to the description. I will probably upload that one next weekend because I won't be filming a video next weekend. I'll be at the retreat. So that'll probably go up next weekend if I can get it done. We'll see. I am stitching more than the required or the suggested amount for table gifts. I think it's a table of 8, and I think I've prepared 12 items, one for me and one to send to somebody, and then I have just a few extra just in case like someone squeezes in on the table. I would hate to not have something for them, so I'm kind of landing on going with 10. I'll keep mine here, the one that I'm making for somebody else here, and then the others I'm going to try to have them finished and ready to go, packaged up and ready to go. So we'll see how that all works out. But yeah, I did get a little bit of stitching done. I spent most of the weekend one afternoon pulling all my supplies together, not even an afternoon, but a section of an afternoon for the Smalls gift exchange item. And then I spent an evening stitching that, and I finished it up the next morning, and it came together really, really quickly. My husband he was so excited. He loved it. He thought it was really, really cute. So hopefully it will be a unique enough thing that someone will love it. So I love it. Okay, stitching. I did have a little bit of haul, and I have been shopping for the market. Let's talk about that later. Let's start with stitching, and in no particular order. I took my my decision-making wheel. I had put in 2 wheels, one for like samplers and larger pieces, and others for another one for different. They don't fall into the sampler category. They can be a small, they can be, a medium-sized piece. It doesn't, they're just not a sampler per se. So I spun that second wheel, and Spring Cat came up. And I thought, oh, it's almost spring. That would be good. This is by Barbara and Anna Design, and I am stitching her not on the called for. I felt like that was too close to the tone of the cat and the flowers, and it could just be the photo, but I decided to change that. I am stitching mine on Mirage, 36 count Mirage Edinburgh linen. So it's a beautiful gray. And here is where I'm at. So I had all of this done. So I brought this like plum color, did the bodice and this part of her dress and this part of her dress. So that took an evening. It went a lot quicker than I thought it did. So I'm very pleased with how it's turned out. I hope I didn't make a mistake. No. Optical illusions. I know I'm missing some stitches there, but I think it's going to be really cute. I do like it on this fabric much better. I think she's going to pop off this really nicely, especially when it's all ironed. I know it looks, the modeling on it's very wrinkly looking, but I do like it a lot. So it felt good to move her along. I'm using all the called for DMCs, and I'm stitching 1 over 2, no, 2 over 2. What am I stitching? 1 over 2. All the called for. These are those older, my first try at a floss drop, and my thought was I could slide the DMC label over that. It doesn't fit. This is too wide, and then they're very thin and they break very easily. So I switched to that teardrop shape floss drop that I have shown many times. Many times. Okay. I decided I wanted to work on another tiny town because I've got a couple of them going. So I pulled out Seaside Tiny Town. I am stitching mine on 30. Oh. I had started this on another linen and I didn't like it, so I restarted it. 32 count Polar Plunge linen. Quite pleased with my progress. I stitched this while I was watching the docu-series on Gabby Petito. Very interesting if you haven't watched it already. A little bit more insight than I think what you have found out through the news. So anyways, I worked on this. So I got this house almost finished. I just have to do the windows. This house done, that cloud done, and I started in on that house there. I have a cloud to add over here too. I'm really liking this on the blue so much better than I had it on Manny Di Donna, My Garden. So it was very much peachy and orange and a little bit of green and very pretty fabric. But this color palette, when I started stitching, I did not like it at all. And I'm using the called for. A real pretty palette. I am pretty much at the halfway mark on that one, so that was encouraging. Maybe I can get it finished by summer. I do want to do a drum finish on that one. I think that's what I want to do. I did a spin on my sampler wheel, and Quaker Summer Sampler, Summer Quaker came up by Lila's Studio. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. This was my birthday start from 2023. I am stitching this on a 36 count Russian tea cake linen. I bought the fabric in Memphis when we were on vacation. I had some of the thread, and then I realized I was going to need another skein, so I bought another skein of a color. I know better, dye lots, but I did it anyways. And then when I was in a hotel, I was looking at my flosses, the same color, very different dye lots. So then I panicked a little bit because I had already done a good chunk of this. So let me just show you what I've got. This is where I'm at. So this week I'm working on page 1, and this is the line to where page 1 ends. I did bring this one over because I had enough on my floss left to finish that off. And it kind of gave me a perspective. I think that's pretty much the middle. It kind of gave me an idea of where I was at. My goal with this, because this is the color here that I don't have enough of, I don't think. And it's used in several of these types of motifs as well. So I thought what I would do is stop what I was doing, and I would stitch this entire inner border across and these down here, because if these are all the same color, I'm happy. I can change these and make them look a little different throughout the piece. I don't think that's going to show up as much. So that's kind of what I'm doing. A little tricky because I also want to work page by page. So I think I'm going to pause it and just work on the borders a little bit and come up and do these little pieces that are coming out so that that can all be in the same color floss. I think I have enough floss for that. I am stitching this, even though it's 36 count, I'm stitching it 2 over 2. When I started it, I felt like the linen could handle the 2 threads. It's a little, if the floss is a little plumper, I struggle just a teeny tiny bit, but for the most part, it's going through nicely. I'm really loving the coverage and the chunkiness, the look of the piece. I think I'm gonna be really happy with it. So it felt good. This is good. The center of this piece is going to be almost full coverage. I mean, it's a lot of stitching in that center. So I was really happy to get a small, tiny chunk of it done. So. On these, there's no rush. They get done when they get done. At some point, I'll get to a point in the piece where I will pull it out more frequently and work on it, I'm sure. But for right now, it's fine the way that it is. Do it this way. Okay. I also did the spin on one other time. I guess I was struggling with decisions. And this one popped up. This is the Mercy Hopkins sampler. I picked this up at a needlework shop in Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg. They had a couple that were fully kitted, and I mean, we were going late August. It was, you know, really, really warm, but it's that time in August where for me, I start looking forward to fall colors and pumpkin pie and spice and all of that kind of a thing. And so I pulled this out. So it came with the linen. I don't know what the linen is. I feel like it's a Zweigart base. I don't think it tells you what it is. No, it just says 28 count cream linen with cotton floss. And the cotton floss, this was a very interesting kit. The cotton floss, I took the time before I started stitching it, and I pulled it all out, and I finally put it on a floss drop. And I had to create my tags. So it has a number and it has a symbol. So on this piece, here it is. For the code, oh my goodness. They give you a number and a symbol, and then they tell you how many strands of thread are in each in the parentheses. So it helps you decipher, because some of these colors are very, very close. Some of them, like number 9, you're mixing those two to create a color. Same thing with number 10 and number 11. And then it tells you one strand of each color. So I felt like I had to use the number and the symbol. Number 10, I don't think I lined it up differently. Oh, yes, number 10. So number 10, it came with the green and the blue together. Do you see that? The green and the blue is in the same hank. Skein. These are not very long. I would say they're probably about 16 inches long, maybe 12. So you're changing floss or adding floss to your needle quite a bit. I think that's okay, because this fabric is not the softest, and I'm afraid that if you did longer pieces, it would fray it. So I did that, and then I went through and I added some stuff. So I worked on this flower and this flower, and the leaves. It's my addition. Now on the chart, I'm going to hold up the picture here. If you look in that corner right here, that flower, it's not fully filled in. And there's something wrong with this flower too, when you compare it. I understand that these are reproductions and that they probably took the original piece and just did exactly what Mercy did, but it was bugging me. So I went ahead and I did my best Even the shape of that corner flower at the top is different from on the other side over here. But I did the best that I could do, and I filled it in, and there were some mistakes, not mistakes. The charting of it would have made it look like I made a mistake, and that bothered me, so I kind of fixed it as I went by looking at some of the other, the charting on some of the other flowers that were similar in size, so that I could make them all the same. So I did take a little bit of a liberty that way. But I think the essence of what she did will remain. This is a gorgeous sampler. These colors are so beautiful and rich. Really not really colors that I tend to go for, but this is going to be so beautiful. Yeah, I just love it. So a good chunk of my evening that day was spent putting everything on a floss drop. And then I didn't get a whole lot of stitching done, but I had to pay attention because I had to kind of rechart in my head what I was doing. So this was a fun one. So much so that I thought, gosh, if we ever go back to, which we will, we really enjoy doing that kind of historical stuff. The next time we wind up in a colonial type town or something like that, and if they have a needle workshop, I'm gonna stop in and see if they've got something like that ready to go, whether it be just a chart or a full kit. The kit was not cheap. It was over $100, but it came with almost pretty much everything and really good detailed instructions, and there's some specialty stitches in there, so it talks about the specialty stitches. So I really am pleased with the product itself. I can't wait till the next time I go to someplace like that, and just keep my eyes open for something that's unique, that is a memento of the trip, right? I'll always remember that came from Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. Okay, I did pull out, because spring, Harrietta and Company by Brenda Gervais. I started this a while ago. That shirt is no joke. It's a lot of white. I probably should be working on the outline for that little guy so that when I'm at the retreat, I just fill it in. That would be the smart thing to do, but I'm not always super smart. I am stitching this on 32 count Winter Brew by R&R. With the called for DMC. And here is where I'm at. So I only had maybe a quarter of her shirt done, and I was able to get almost 2/3 of it done. So in about 5 rows, I can start going down and creating the sleeves, but it's almost to a point where the boring part, which is just a lot of fill-in, is almost done. So I think now she's probably at the halfway mark, maybe not quite halfway, but more finished than unfinished, if that makes sense. I think I want to finish her into a pillow. I think it'll be really, really cute. Called for DMCs. Okay. Friday focus. For those of you that are new, I do a Friday focus piece. So I pick one piece that is at least 50% done or more, and I focus on that piece every Friday until it's done. A lot of times it's smalls. This time it's a sampler, and I think that's really how I got so much finished last year, was because I had a Friday focus piece, because I have a lot of pieces that I forget about that are at least halfway, if not more than halfway done. So I just need dedicated time. And I figured that was a nice way of creating dedicated time without being a monogamous stitcher. And then if I want to stitch on it another day during the week, I do. So right now the Friday focus piece is Entwined Hearts by the Scarlett House. This model here was stitched on Aztec Red linen by Weeks Dye Works. I decided I had a piece, which I love it on the red, but I had a piece of 36 count Peony by Fiber on a Whim, and that is what I chose to do it on. Also meant I had to change my floss colors, so I kept the black, which is black coffee, but then I substituted out. I have Begonia and Cherub by Weeks Dye Works and Oatmeal by the Gentle Arts. And made really good progress. I'm so excited. Here's where I'm at. I'm in the lower section with the fun design. I saved it for last. So I had one pink heart here to finish. I had the alphabet here to finish and this flower, and then I brought it down. So I'm working on these two flowers now, and then I'll work on the basket, and then I'll come over and work on the birds and the other motifs. And then I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I had space here after the 20, and I wanted to add the year. I didn't think it was going to fit because this is pretty much one line, but what I didn't know at the time, because I wasn't at that part in the chart, this alphabet extends out a lot further. You can kind of see it. You see how she kind of finished this way. So that kind of gave me liberty to go out and do my 25 there. And I did it in the Begonia color because I love that color. The other swap that I did is that the Begonia color on the strawberries was supposed to be the white. I didn't want black and white strawberries. I thought the Begonia was much prettier, and so that's what I did. So I was going to stitch this 1 over 1, and then I realized that I have enough room I can do regular 1 over 2. So that's what I did. So I will take this to the retreat with me for next Friday, and I might have a finish next Friday with this one. It might be the sole thing that I stitch on. We will see, because I do have to pay attention and count properly. But if I could get it finished at the retreat, that would be pretty awesome. And I'm gonna frame this, and I have a frame style in mind, so we'll see if I can find it. That's all the stitching I did. Haul. I ordered the Primrose Cottage St. Patrick's Day Quaker. Super, super cute. So that came in. I liked it on that fabric, and I didn't have any in stock, so I picked up 25 count of potato. I think this is probably, oh, it's a Lugano. And then the floss pack and finishing kit. So all the flosses that I need and the fabric to finish it. And I think there's a little piece of felt to do the patch on the back. So that came in. So now I just need to throw that in a bag and I can start that. And then I also picked up a fat quarter of 40 count blush linen. I I'm at the end of my blush linen that I currently have. I don't have a whole lot to do a decent sized project, and I loved it, so I picked up another package. And I think the only other fabric that I have ordered additional, because I've worked through it, has been like vintage country mocha. So I'm pretty excited that I used a good chunk of my 40 count that I had to order new. So that is now in stock again. So I'm very happy about that. Market. Market's happening in a couple weekends. Have you been seeing all of the things? I've been trying to exercise control. And just when I think you've got enough, you're good, you don't need to buy any more, then someone comes out with something that's adorable. Like Hands-On Design Ladybug Picnic. Have you seen it? It is so cute. It is a companion piece to the bee that she did, and I can't remember the name of the bee chart, but it's a companion piece to the bee, and it's stitched on a new fabric color by Fabrics by Stephanie, called Pomegranate. At first I thought I might be able to make it work on the Peony, but I think the Peony is too pink. The Pomegranate really has a nice warm tone to it. So I went on to, I'm ordering the bulk of my things from Lindy Stitches. She combines shipping, refunds any shipping overage, and will ship everything at once. So that's what I've been doing. If you order anything that is not a market, it will be held until the market order comes in. So keep that in mind. I did order, I think, a couple of things from her that I'm not in any rush for. I just thought, oh, let's throw that into. I have several things coming from her. I've got a couple of cuts of linen. I have a lot of different charts. From Farm Girl Dry Goods, I ordered the Brenda Gervais charts. I did not do the kits because I felt like with the style of the designs, and she showed the colors, she had put on her website the colors that were being used. I felt like I had quite a few of those, so I didn't feel like I needed to order a kit. So I just ordered the charts. And then I was watching Primrose Cottage, and I placed an order with them for some market charts. I don't think I did the market charts. I don't think that I ordered any floss packs from them, but I did order, they got me with their new fat quarter bundle. I think there's six or eight cuts of fabric in there, and it's a real pretty green, like Easter. And I thought with the Brenda Gervais charts and some of the other things that I'm working on, it might be a really cute backing. So I went ahead and I picked up that as well. You'll see in my craft room tour, I don't know where I'm going to put the fabric, but I bought it. And then Ladybug Picnic. So Ladybug Picnic came out, so I went to Fabrics by Stephanie, and I picked up a cut of the pomegranate, and I think it's 32 count to finish it in the same size that as the model. 22 count, and then I also picked up, 32 count, and I also picked up 32 count juniper, which I think I might have juniper here somewhere, but I don't think it's 32 count. So I went ahead and I thought, it's a really pretty green, I'm just going to pick it up anyway. So I picked up a 32 count fat quarter of juniper so that I can do the bee as well. So I already have the bee chart. I'm going to pull that out today, and I'm going to pull the floss for it, and I may pull the floss for the ladybug one too, and put it in a bag so that when the charts come, I can start both of those. So cute. I just love them. Also her big, awesome produce instead of project. She has like a 10-inch long berry. Could look like a carrot, but it's a berry, and it's got a really cute bunny scene on it, and that's on 20 Count Chocolate Milk by Fabrics by Stephanie. Now she is out of that. I went back in and I thought you should probably order that. But she was out. So I am not sure. I would like it to be big, maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking on that. I'm thinking about how I decorate for Easter. And a 10-inch strawberry that's, big, that is going to take up some space. And I don't really know where I will put it. So I may decide after all, even though I really would love to have something big like that, I may decide to shrink that down a little bit and use a smaller count fabric, a higher count fabric, to get a smaller finishing piece. She also hinted, she did her market release video here a few days ago. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out, because she holds up the berry and you can see, how big it really is. And it's beautiful and I love it. It's so cute. So I went to Fabrics by Stephanie and I ordered I ordered the fabric for the other two, and then I'm waiting for that one to come. So it's a lot. And I keep telling myself, I think you got it out of your system, and then someone else comes out with something new. I'm waiting for the Proper Stitcher. She teased in her last video her market releases, and I loved the little bits that we got to see on that video. So I think I need to order her charts too. They will go in my library, and it will be a full collection of things to keep me busy for decades, I'm sure. Anyways, have you guys been doing market shopping? Are you waiting? Are you not a big shopper? Do you get swept up in it? Do you not? Do you wait until it shows up in your LNS and you go check it out? I don't have an LNS, so I have to order everything online. So what are you guys doing? Are you trying to exercise control and succeeding, or failing miserably like me? For the retreat, I know that there's going to be vendors there. I know Live and Die LA will be there. I don't know who else is going to be there. I know that she talked about there being a few other vendors. What I do with Scrapbook Expos, I take cash. So I save a little bit from each paycheck, or birthday money, or Mother's Day money, like whatever. I save it if I know that I'm going to a retreat or a expo, and I go to the bank before I go to the retreat, and I take out cash for the amount of money that I have saved. And when the cash is gone, I stop spending most of the time. Honestly, I really do stop spending. If I do put something on the credit card, I'll put food on the credit card, because I probably would be doing that anyways. But if it's shopping and it's something that I really, really need, but I had forgotten about it, and it's $100 or less, or $50 or less, I will allow myself to do one purchase on my credit card for $50 to $100. So I'm going to try to not do that. I'm really going to try to exercise control. But when you get amongst people that share your same love for a hobby, and they shop, it's hard to say no. So we'll see how that all goes. I really should save that money and not spend anything, but that's not realistic. So I'm not going to lie to myself. uh, I am excited for that. I'm going to, I did take the entire day Thursday off next week, so I will have time in the morning to kind of prep for the retreat if I don't get it all done, as far as pulling my things together. But I would like to start focusing on that this weekend. Let me tell you, working for 6 or 7 hours tomorrow is really kind of a buzzkill. So maybe I can take off a little early during the week. We'll see. That would be helpful as well. Once I get the table gifts done, I will feel a lot better. So hopefully that will all work out okay. And I can get those done today and tomorrow. And then everything else will be fine. You can throw a few things in a bag really quickly. And I'm not that far away. So, I mean, if I have to come home, step away for an hour, hour and a half to come home and put something together and drive back over there, it's okay. I can do that. I'm close enough. Not a big deal. Okay, I think that's it. A much shorter video today. Let me know how your stitching is going, if you're working on anything fun, what you're excited for market. I hope you have a great weekend. It's a beautiful weekend here. We finally have some warm weather. Finally, like we were in frigid temperatures, we weren't. It's our first weekend where we have temps in the high 70s, so it's that tease in the middle end of winter that like makes you really want spring to come, and it'll probably be warm through next week, and then it'll get a little on the cool side again, I think. My roses, I cut them all back a few weeks ago, and I've been watching them. It's always so scary to me because I cut them way back and they look dead. And I'm like, oh, they're never going to come back. And well, now they're coming back and their leaves look really green and pretty. And so I'm excited. I feel like it's warm today and the flowers are starting to regrow. And it's, the first hint that spring is just around the corner. So that's it. Have a great week. Enjoy your stitching. I hope you get lots done. And until next time, happy stitching. Bye.